Becca likes to play catch with her dad, but life threw her a bad curve when she was just 22 months old. She wasn't eating, had lost weight, and was limp, so her worried parents took her to the doctor. He sent them to Children's Hospital in St. Louis. By the time they got to the emergency room, Becca wasn't moving.
When they told me that she had diabetes, they said she had juvenile diabetes. I didn't know anything about diabetes. And my first question was, will she grow out of that? And the doctor said no. And at that point is when I cried, and I just burst into tears because I thought, well, whatever this is, she now has it for the rest of her life. But at that point, I still didn't really know what diabetes was.
Becca has Type I Juvenile Diabetes.
Can I have something to eat?
What's your blood sugar?
Her body doesn't produce enough insulin to keep the sugar in her blood at a safe level. When her sugars get too high, she could go into a coma or even die. So Becca has to check her blood sugar several times a day, every day of her life.
It's just kind of how my mom and my dad taught me and how it became a regular routine in my life. So, I mean, like, if I want something to eat, I check my blood sugar, or just if I feel low, I check my blood sugar, anything like that. And, I mean, like, it's just a normal routine, so, I mean, like, it's a habit. 261. If my blood sugar is above 600, my stomach hurts. It hurts to go to school. I have high ketones and I feel like I'm gonna puke. If I go low, I feel shaky and really like sometimes crabby and I don't want to do anything.
A child is diagnosed with juvenile diabetes every 35 seconds. Parents should be aware of the danger signs.
Oftentimes, you'll be overly thirsty because it's a hot day out. You'll be overly hungry because you've done a lot of exercise. But when you see a small child that's asking for a liter of soda when they rarely drink soda, that tells you there's something seriously wrong. If they're really hungry and they just can't get enough on that plate, there's something seriously wrong. And those both are signs of diabetes. Another sign for people is that they begin to sweat a lot before they eat. They get real fuzzy and are so tired they just want to lay down and sleep. That's a symptom. And in time, you get to the point where you can go into a coma, go into death. So being diagnosed correctly is very important because then you know what to do to manage the disease.
Becca's life doesn't have to be an uphill climb. With careful monitoring, she can do just about anything any other child can do, but she can never escape diabetes.
It is a 24/7 disease. You can't escape it. One of the things that Rebecca says periodically is, I just want one day without diabetes. Just one day. It's all consuming, but you just take one day at a time. You do what you have to do to keep your child alive.
My hope for her is a hope for everybody, is that we find a cure for this and she doesn't have to deal with this every day, ever. She doesn't have to deal with it ever again. That's the hope.
If your child has been drinking and eating a lot, losing weight, or just doesn't feel right, talk to your healthcare provider today about a check for juvenile diabetes.